Hello everybody, let's get together and make a wreath. I will be using those colors that my customer supplied. We're going to start off with the white mesh with the black stripe, and I will be cutting 8 of these at 24 inches. In total I need 16, but I'll be using additional colors. So we're going to start off with this white and black. I have my cutting mat down there, so all I have to do is lay it down, get to the number, and then just cut it right off. It's going to roll up. I'm going to throw those to the side, and then we're going to breeze through the rest of these. Now for the wreath frame, I'll be using a 18-inch wire frame. It has 3 rows, and then it has the crossbars going all around it. It is 8 of those crossbars all the way around, and that's why I cut 8 of the black and white. But because I'll be using 2 colors, actually I'm using 3, but because I'm using the 2 color, I'll have to go back and cut again. Now at each one of those crossbar areas where the lines meet in the second row, I will be putting a, what are those things called? Not a twisty tie. I forgot what it's called. Oh my goodness. I had a brain fart. I don't remember what those things are called right now. Um, I'm in the middle of trying to do the audio for this video. Pipe cleaners. Those are called pipe cleaners. So I'll be putting 8 pipe cleaners, as you can see right there in the middle on the crossbars all the way around. Those are called pipe cleaners. Wow. So once we get done putting those 8 on, we're going to take 8 more pipe cleaners, and I'm going in the middle of the 2 crossbars that I just placed, and I'll be putting one there all the way around. Again, it's going to be 8 of those too, so for a total of 16 pipe cleaners going around this wreath. You can see I'm placing those on there, and I'm just giving it like a 1-2 twist around. Nothing crazy. They will stay in place if you get that first twist tight enough, and I normally don't have a problem. Again, these are the ribbons that she gave me, and that is the first Deco Mesh color that I am starting with. I really like that Deco Mesh that has the color trim on the end. For some reason, it's just like I don't know, it's a nice texture to it that I kind of like. So I've been using it a lot lately. Plus it allows me to add some dimension by doing more than one color, and I can always match the colors. I would have done that one in all white, but that wasn't what she was looking for. So here we are. We have 16 of these pipe cleaners. They are at the crossbars, and then they're in between each of the crossbar. Now we're going to take this and we're going to set this up out of the way, and now we're going to cut our 8 reds, also going at 24 inches. Now, the problem that I came up with my red is that I simply did not have enough. So I'm going to keep going, get these all cut and get them ready. And then we're going to go back and visit this topic later, because I'll end up having to go with 4 red. I think I had enough to cut 6 and not 8. So I had to find another color, which was fine. I didn't know where I was going with this wreath when I started it. Normally I do, so I know that I have the right supplies that I need. But this one was a makeup on the fly. But these wreaths are so flexible that it allows you to be able to change up the colors and add what you want. It will still turn out just fine. Now I want to show you how I actually roll my I'm making cruffles or ruffles. Guess it depends on who you watching and what they call them. I'll be scrunching them up so they can be called scrunchies. I have no idea what all that terminology that people use. But what I do is I flip it over to the side that I'm not using. As you see, it's rolling in, so that's the back side of it. I fold both of my corners inward first, because I don't like those corners sticking out. Then I'm going to grab my end as tight as I can, and then I'm going to roll it 2 or 3 times. It just depends on the corners and if they stay in place for me or not. I'll clip that in, and then I'm going to flip it around. I cannot hold it and roll like some people can. My fingers just don't work like that. Again, I fold that corner in, fold the next corner in, and I make sure that when I roll I get those corners. Once I get it where I want, I'm going to go into the middle of it, and I'm going to scrunch. That's what I call it. Scrunch it to me to the other end where I'd already put the clip at. And then when you get done, you get this nice little ruffly, scrunchy, cruffly. Depends on who you asking, but that's what you get. I'm going to put a clip on that one, and then I'm going to go on to the next one and get a couple of these rolled up just so that I can give you an example of how I'm going to layer both of these colors. Again, I am going to roll over my corners, and then I'm going to roll in. You see how that corner flipped back out? So I have to go back, and I want to get my corners nice and tight because I want them to stay in. I don't want the jagged edges or the corners just sticking out. So again, corner in, hold it tight, flip it over, get your hands into the middle, and then scrunch it to you. Grab the other end of it, put the clip on the whole thing, and remember that's the back side of it. Now that I flipped it over, that's the front side of it. Okay, so here on this reform, what I'm going to do is place the colors, but I will be removing these because I didn't realize that I didn't have enough because I was trying to make a video. So I'm going to take the all red, and I am placing that in the spot that doesn't have the crossbar. So that's that middle piece, and I am placing it up and down. So basically it's vertical with a piece of the loop inside of the wreath and the piece of the loop sticking outside of the wreath. I'm skipping the one in the middle, and I'm going over to the next one, which was that middle, and doing the same thing. So now I have two of these down. Again, it's going vertical, I guess, facing me. That would be vertical. With that middle one that's on the crossbar, I'm going to take the white and black after I flipped it over to its proper side, and I'm going to place that basically horizontal to where it looks like a bow tie facing me. And then I'm going to fluff that up around both of those reds so it's covering up any space that there would be up under there. And then I go to that next one, and that would be another white one that goes there. So we're going to put that on just so that you can see what it looks like. And again, it is going horizontal, so it looks like a bow tie, while the other one went vertical and it went in and out. And then we just going to again fluff it. I'm not going to do a lot of fluffing because I'm going to touch this wreath a lot of times, so there's no need for me to fluff it out right now. Now this is one that I've been working on. It's kind of a swag idea that I came up with. I just cannot figure out what color I want to use. So do me a favor, go down in the comments. That is a silver under the bottom with a silver that has the lines through it. I have these beautiful jewels. I have clear, I have green, red, blue. I think I even have a gold or a pink one, but I just don't know what color I want to use with that. So give me your ideas, and then we'll see where it ends up going in the end. I might put blue on it and make it a lion's Christmas wreath since it's lion season here in Detroit. So again, we're going back to this because now we have to get all of these things rolled up and get them on the wreath. And so just one at a time. It takes a little bit to get these done. Again, I had to do 16 of these in total, but I am not going to make you watch all 16 of these. We're going to cut to the chase right about now. So now I'm back to placing the reds on along with the white and blacks. And here, as you see, I'm just going one after the other. Most of the time, this is not how I normally do it. I'll do one color, then do the other color. But because I'm recording it for you, for some reason, I went out of the order that I normally go into. I really don't know why I did that, which is why I didn't realize that I didn't have enough of my red. And so I end up having to take everything off and start all over again, which is not a big deal when you're doing these wreaths. Again, they're so flexible. Everything is just held on with the pipe cleaner. So all you have to do is untangle it or untie it, untwist it. That's what it is, untwist it. So I needed four of something because I didn't have enough of the red. So I cut that jagged edge off. I found this red and black that I had, which I really like this check material too. And I decided to go with four of these in red and black, and then we're going to have four of the all red. So we quickly get those cut up, and then we're going to get those scrunched up, and then I'm going to show you how I go to layering those on there because it's going to make a little bit of a difference, but not much at all. So once we have all of those cut, again, just like we did before, we're going to start scrunching them or crunching them up. And I fold in my ends, I grab my middle, I pull it down to the end. This time I did not do both ends because I was frustrated with myself. So I went halfway and then rolled it down and then rolled it over, which I can get away with that. I just can't hold it in my hand while I do both sides of it. And as you can see, that red and black, that color is so nice. I don't think the video, because I did download it from a previous recorded session that I did, gives it any justice. But either way it go, we're going to hurry up and get these things all done so that we can get to attaching. Okay, so now it's time to attach these red and black, but because I didn't have enough, now I have to remove a couple of the reds off of here. So I decided, instead of me trying to figure it out and count up under, I would just remove everything. And what I'm going to do is, the reds are still going in the same place, which is that middle one, not on the crossbar, going vertically up and down. And then for the other four, I'll go in between my reds, same way, up and down vertically, but that those are in the exact spot that the all reds would have gone in. I just fed in the red and black in between those, and it's going to make such a difference and look so nice having that other color up under there. So we can be flexible with these wreaths and do whatever it is that we want with them. In the end, it's just all about your eye and designing what you like to see and hoping that my customer will like it, which, spoiler alert, she did. So I had already taken it to her and dropped it off and everything. Now, what we're going to do is start attaching those black and white ones. Now, I'm sorry, the white and black ones. Those are going in between every space that had that crossbar, and it's going to go what I'm going to call horizontally, because it looks like a bow tie when I get done and it's going across. And remember, the reds and the red and blacks went vertically. So we're going to get all of these attached, and then we're going to step back, take a look at this base, and see what it's starting to look like. And this is the point where if you don't like the look, then you just take everything back off again and do something different. And for each one of those, I am flipping it over to the right side so my curls are facing down, and then the rest of it is facing up, because that is the correct side of it. So we're going to get all of those in really quick. Bear with me. And do me a favor, while you're waiting on me to get these done, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of that stuff that you're supposed to say. I'm saying it right now because I'm not putting that stuff in this video. I'm just going to make this video because I wanted to capture myself making a wreath. Now that we have all of those pieces on, we're going to hang it up so that I can look at it as if it was on a door as opposed to looking at it flat. I have to flip back and forth when I'm doing the wreaths. I really have to look at it up as opposed to keeping it down. So that's what it's looking like so far. We're going to go over there. We're going to stick it on the door, take a look at it. And this is a pancake wreath, so it's really flat. If you have a screen door, a storm door, a security door, this will allow your door to close as long as you don't put accessories on it that are super big and fluffy. The door will close with no problems. I don't know why I had this ribbon here, but now we're going to start on the ribbon that we're going to use to accent the wreath. We're going to start off with this silver, and then I also have some red. This is 1 inch ribbon that I picked up. I believe that looks like a Hobby Lobby label. I have 8 of those cut at 12 inches. And now I'm going to cut 8 of these red ones also at 12 inches. Then I'm going to take all of these and put them together and start dovetailing all the ends of these. This is the part that gets tedious. I love using ribbon, but I really hate sitting here doing all of the work on the ribbon. So um, I'm going to do 2 of these right now so that I can show you the way that I'm going to be layering these. And what I'm going to be doing is taking one color, putting it on top of the other, finding the middle of it, and then I'm going to scrunch that together, pinch it, and then bend it down. Come on, lady, bend it down. Not that way, bend it down. Hold on. I'm going to do it in just a minute as soon as I get my hands together. And I'll be bending it to look just like that. So it looks like little wings off to one side. And that's the way I'll do all of these going under the bottom. And when I say bottom, we'll be putting this at the bottom of the wreath attached to all of the reds and blacks. So it'll be behind the whites, and it'll kind of stick out and look like that. It's kind of hard to see it now, even though I'm showing it to you on video, but you'll get a better understanding. It's kind of like this fall wreath here. You can see ribbon in the back, you can see ribbon in the front, and it's basically the same thing. If I pull that back under the bottom, there are two colors that are under there, and then over the top I have the other two colors. I love the way it makes it look nice and full. I like the dimensions that you get in it. It's like you're seeing stuff from all angles popping out of everywhere. It just looks like a surprise. Your door jewelry will look so pretty once you get it together. These are the four colors that I'm using. Again, I cut 8 of each color. The other two, the red stripe and the red and white snowflakes, are a ribbon that I had, as well as the red and the silver. So those aren't the colors yet that my customer gave me. And so right now I'm going under the bottom of each one of those, and I am attaching that ribbon. I also decided to not attach the two solid ribbons. So what I'm using is the solid silver on top of the red and black check. Same thing. I am scrunching it in the middle, bending it down, attaching it so that the ribbon tails stick out of the ribbon. So as you can see, they're sticking out and not in. You can make them stick in and out. You can, it's really up to you. I like the way it looks when they both stick going outwards to the wreath. So I'm going to do one more, kind of give you a look. I'm going under the bottom. That's where the red or a red and black is. I'm attaching that. And then I'm going to just fluff that white and black right back over the top of it. And there it is. It's all sticking out, and this wreath is really starting to take shape. I only have to do 8 more of these to get these going. And so we're going to go ahead and get through these kind of fast because I'm going to speed this up even more in a minute. So now what I'm doing is just giving you a look without the wreath being in the way, how I put those together. I put the two again, and then I bend it downward. I'm holding on to that middle part so that when I go up under there to attach it, the ribbon stays in place. Now, the two of the printed or pattern ribbons, I cut those at 10 inches and not 12 inches to make them shorter than the 1 inch. The pattern ribbon is 2.5 inch wide. That way, the 1 inch stuck out a little bit more, and they're not the same size, making sure that you can see them both. If that makes sense, it probably doesn't with me saying it, but there's the wreath up, and that bottom layer of ribbon is on all the way around, and they're sticking out. And now we just have to go over, take a look at it. I think I like the way that it's going so far. I stuck some green ribbon. I just had a little bitty piece that I stuck on there under the bottom. Her design does have a little green in it, so I used those. So now we're going to take the red and white snowflake along with the red, and the same thing. I'll be putting the red on top of the red and white. The red and white is shorter and it's wider. I bend them down, and that's pretty much how it's going to look when I place it on the wreath. Now all of these red and whites and reds are going on the top layer on top of the white and black deco mesh. I'm going to go to each of those 8 spots. Those pipe cleaners are still there. I have not cut them or done anything to them. That way I can keep attaching things to them as I go on. I normally would make the mistake of cutting my pipe cleaners too early. I stopped doing that a long time ago. And stopped causing myself so much work. So as you see, in between each one of those, I'll be going and I'll be placing that red solid 1 inch ribbon along with the red and white snowflake 2.5 inch ribbon. The red is cut to 12 inches. The red and white snowflake is cut to 10 inches. Now those are just my designs. You can cut these to any length that you want to. You can flip them around. It's completely up to you. That is the best thing about making these wreaths. It depends on your taste and what you like. I have all of those ribbons attached. We're going to hang it back on the door. Take a look at it by moving back off of it. Gives me an idea of where I'm going. And now I can start with the next part, which now I am going to make. In the end, I end up making 4 bows, but I'm going to make 3 to start off with. And this isn't a bow making class because I am sure that I am not qualified. I am not the best bow maker. I just know that I know what I like to see. And after I fiddle with this easy bow maker, which this thing is a blessing. I don't know how I was making bows before, but what I'm doing now is I am making, I believe those are, I'm trying to see it for myself because I don't even remember. Those are 5-inch loops, and there's probably a 5 or 6 inch tail on that. Right now, those tails may seem a little long, but I'll cut them later. And what I'm doing is a loop on each side, and then I'm doing one up and one down, as opposed to making a bow where both of the tails are down. We're going to start off with that black and white. That was the customer supplied ribbon. Now I'm going to go back in with just a red, and this was the ribbon that I had, and I'm going to alternate where that tail is going to land. So you see I put it in the middle of that one, and this is now going to be 4 inches because I don't want them to match up. I want them to be off just a little, and I'm going in between the spots where I placed that black and white. Yeah, in between the spots where I placed that black and white ribbon. So you'll see it a little bit more as I get going on it. We're going to cut these off. I have to change my loops around and figure out where they are supposed to go because sometimes I get confused myself. But the Easy Bow Maker really helped me a lot with making my bows. I had the other one, the Bow Dabra or Bow Maker, the one that sticks up in the air. It didn't have numbers on it as clear as this, and this one is a lot larger. And because it has numbers on both sides, I can easily make sure that my loops are the same size as opposed to trying to make a loop and hold it up in the air and look at it. So now I'm going back in with this silver, and again, same thing, except these are going to be 3-inch loops on each side. So I'm doing 3-inch loops. I'm going to move that around to the placement where I want it before I start on my next loop, and then it's just a twist, turn, you put it in there, move it around, and figure out where the piece is going, cut it off, and then you get everything nice and pushed and moved while it's inside of that bow maker, because then you have to hold it in your hand. Could not find my zip ties, so yep, I used the pipe cleaner. Get the pipe cleaner up under there, get it really tight, get it in the middle. Then I'm going to give that a couple of spins to make sure that that bow doesn't go anywhere. Then I am going to dovetail and cut on my tails on those bottom ones. I did dovetails at the top. I just did a slant for both of those. So at the tops I did slants. At the bottom, that one in the middle, I did that one at a dovetail. The one at the bottom, red on that side, I did a dovetail. And then that black one and white one right there, I did it at a slant. So I kind of flipped what I did from the top and the bottom. But again, it's your ribbon. You can dovetail, slant, curvy, cut it whatever way you want to. And so now I'm going to place that on the side midway down. That's the spot that I think that I want to see that in, and I am happy with that. So then I have to sit down, and I end up making 2 more of these bows because I wanted to place them at the bottom and at the other side. Okay, so I got a little bit ahead of myself. Now I am making that third and final bow, and we're going to place that one down at the bottom right there in the middle. And as you can see, this wreath is really starting to take shape. The more layers you add to it, the more of a look you get out of it. At this point, you cannot tell the red and black from the red, but up close you can see the colors peeking out in there. Now we're going to make the final bow, which is going to be my topper bow, the bow that's going at the top in the middle. And this one I'm doing a little bit different. So I'm going with a long tail. I think that tail is probably about 9 inches long. I try to keep it long when I'm starting. That way, if I decide to cut it off, I have room to cut it. If you make it too short from the beginning, you don't have that choice. And so you end up having to either remake the whole bow. And this is my customer's ribbon, so I really don't want to waste any of her ribbon. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. Where am I? Okay, now I'm back, I guess. So these are 6 inches on both sides. And unlike the bow that I just made with this black and white, I'm going to be making 4 loops. So I have one on each side starting off. Checking my camera to make sure y'all can see. So we have those 2 loops already going. We're going to get the third one in there. Again, This set of loops are all the same size to start off with. It's just that I'm doing four of them this time and moving them around to make sure. This is when it gets important that the loops are the same, because it will look really crazy when the loops aren't the same size as you start to make the final bow. I've done it before and it used to irk me just looking at it over and over again. So I couldn't find my scissors. I grabbed some scissors and those aren't the ones I was using. So I found the ones that I was using, and that's the first layer of my bow. Those loops are 6 inches. Now I'm coming in with the second color, which is also customer ribbon. I made sure that that tail is the same size, and now these loops are going to be 5 inches. So again, that's the best thing about this bow maker, is being able to see the numbers on each side while you're making it and not having to lift the bow up to look at it. To those people that are so good that they can just make the bows and they know what size it is, hats off to you, because I need this big ruler thing right here in my face. Again, I am doing 4 loops of this one also. And when I get done with those loops, they won't be up against each other. They will alternate just a little so that you can see that black and white peeking out from behind that red. I think that says Merry Christmas on it. Merry Christmas ribbon. We're going to cut that off. Now we're going with our third color, which is a solid, well, it's not solid, it's a striped black and white ribbon, which is also the ribbon that was supplied to me by the customer. Now, this ribbon, this was some really nice ribbon. This black and white one, it was nice and thick. I really like this color, but because it was so bold, I did not think that 4 loops was going to be good for this one. So I did 2 loops of this one. These loops are 4-inch loops. Again, I'm stepping the size down with each loop. These are 4 inches. I'm going with 2 loops on this one, keeping it in the middle, and then I'm going to cut that off again. And that's where we at so far with this. So far we have 3 ribbons. Now I'm going back with my red that I had, and these loops are going to be 3 inches. And again, I'm only going to do 2 loops with this one, and I'm not going to follow the same pattern that I've already been following, because I want to give it a little bit of interest. So I'm doing 2 loops, and I'm going to pull that down right on top of that black and white. And now we're going to go in with the silver. So now we're at our fourth ribbon. And this loop is also going to be a 3 inch. I'm not going to step this one down to the 2 inches. I don't think I did. I'll see in a minute. How about that? Yep, I did go down to 2 inches on that. So the silver is at 2 inches. I'm going to flip that, put it in here, except instead of keeping it the way the red is and all of the other tails going down, this time what I'm going to do is take a tail up and a tail down, cut it off. And so now we have 5 colors inside of this ribbon so far. And then I played with this green, but it wasn't a wired ribbon and it just didn't go. So I changed my mind. After I put it in there and took a look at it, I decided I did not like this ribbon. Even though I liked the glitter color of it, it was just making it, that little loop was not going to do anything for this. So we just threw that out of the way. And then I finally found my zip ties, because I really needed a zip tie on this one. The pipe cleaner was just going to make it too hard for me to gather this all together. So I'm slowly lifting up. I'm going to get my zip tie up under there. I'm going to clamp it just a little, not all the way tight, just enough that'll let me pull that out of there so that I can move the zip tie up under the bottom. And now I'm just going to arrange the ribbon before I actually pull that zip tie all the way tight. It's tight, but it's not completely tight at this point, because once you pull it really tight, it's kind of hard to move the ribbon around. So what I'm doing is just playing with the pieces, making sure that they are all lining up where I want. And then, of course, it's time for me to cut, dovetail, figure out where I'm going with it. I love doing dovetails, and sometimes I get carried away and everything will be dovetails. But again, it's up to you. That's what I like. I think it makes the ribbon look interesting. I guess it's just the look that I happen to like a lot. So that's what our ribbon is going to look like. Look at those nice tails on there. We have the silver, the red, the black and white. They're all under there. Everything looks really cute, really demure. I don't know if that looks demure or not, but I'm just using it because I keep hearing people say it. It's funny to me. And there's our ribbon. Now we're going to attach that right there to the top in the middle. And now, as you can see, I've also added some red and silver ornaments to it. And now I'm going back to those accessory ribbons, because now I see that the ends of those, some of them are long. I want to do something with them, so I decided to roll it through my fingers and turn it into what looks like ribbon candy. You know, that hard candy for Christmas, it looks like ribbons. So we're going to do a couple of those just to add a little bit of interest, because we have all of this nice ribbon on here. And this is the point where you have to play and figure out where you want to go next with your wreath. At this point, it's all up to you. You can add more decor to it. You can add florals. You can add picks and stuff like that. I ended up adding some green. I don't know what that is. Whatever the little greenery leaf those are, I can't remember which one it is. I ended up adding that to it. What I didn't get in the video or even a final picture of it before I dropped it off, I found some red cranberries and added those red cranberries to it. So hopefully my customer will post it and we'll be able to see with the cranberries and everything. She'll send me a picture of it, so maybe I'll get an update. I had that nice silver bell that I added to it, and this is pretty much the final of the wreath. What do you guys think? Do you like how it turned out? Did you think it would even turn out like this based on how we started? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to let me know where to go with that silver one when it comes to the colors on it. And take a look at my horrible looking craft room. Stuff is everywhere. I have no organization system. All I have is a lot of totes. But that's it. Thanks for watching Fran at Officially Fran, and bye bye for now.